Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently holding for further traffic clearance.
Check out Kristen's new website, magicaljourneysvacations.com, for all your vacation needs. Disney, Universal, cruise lines, and more.
Thank you for traveling with us.
magicaljourneysvacations.com. Have her book your magical vacation today. WDW After Dark presents Disney Discussion, a roundtable panel.
So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this this new opening of this attraction. I'm going to, if you would, if you're watching the video feed on YouTube, you can check this out. This footage comes to us from our friend Ricky Briganti at InsideTheMagic.com. And this is a amazing looking attraction. Just take a look at the transformation of this this place here. The Mission Breakout ride, formerly the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. And you can see here the statue, the golden statue of the collector.
Yeah.
Tavon, the collector. There's a Cosmo, the animatronic dog. There's an
Ultron.
Ultron. And did you know that there are some attractions? There are some things in this queue that would spark the imagination, if you will. Did you happen to see the fact that Figment is captured in one of those pods?
No, I did not.
Figment is there.
I totally missed that.
Yeah, so there's a Figment in there. There's also one of the Yetis from the original Disneyland Matterhorn. And there he is. One of the smoothest looking animatronics, Rocket. And your mission, if you will, is to join him as he disables the force shield that's holding the Guardians in place there at the Collector's Fortress. You need to break him out and sever the tie to nowhere, which is where all of the power is being drawn to hold the Guardians in place. And in this attraction, you're going to find not only all of the Collector's collectibles, right, like the Guardians and so many of the other things that are in there, but you're also going to run into the Guardians of the Galaxy from the famous film Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. You're going to find that there's some portions of the ride that change depending on the time you do the ride. So it's much like Star Tours. It's got a little bit of a variance in it, so that when you ride the ride a second time, it's not always going to be the same what you experience. So that's a really cool thing about it. Now you can see some of the people there, some B-roll cut into it. There's Rocket disconnecting the force field, and then the people are going to drop, as you would expect. But there's been a lot of interesting comments regarding this attraction, that people are not happy that it took the place of the Tower of Terror West, that maybe they didn't do enough in the ride queue and things of that nature. What are your thoughts about this particular attraction as you see it, and kind of I guess the way it's themed? What are your thoughts about it?
Well,
Anybody?
I'm not commenting on it because I'm not watching it, because I have to be surprised. So people watching the video and they're thinking, is she bored? Like, what's going on? No, I don't like to be spoiled. So I'm not watching it, and I'm only kind of listening because I don't want to know. I want to be surprised.
Okay, well, you definitely don't want to watch this because I'm going to play some more B-roll in the background. So go ahead, Eric.
Okay. First of all, and we have said this on the show, Disney is in the situation where anything they do, any kind of change they make, is going to get somebody upset. Even with replacing wishes with happily ever after. I mean, you got people out there threatening to rip up their annual pass because of it. It's like people are very invested in their favorite things at Disney. There is such a high degree of attachment to it. And that's good. But the thing to remember, nothing is permanent. So, times change. Demographic interests change. Technology changes. So it does not surprise me that there was a lot of complaints that Tower of Terror went away. And also, I get that there are plenty of complaints because, let's face it, the building is not a wonder of beautiful architecture. It's a very ugly building, a very industrial building. And that's on purpose because, I mean, nothing in nowhere is beautiful. And we saw that pretty blatantly during the first movie. So it does not surprise me, and really, I know that there are people going to get upset at this, but it does not bother me that they changed this because, first of all, it's going to be like the centerpiece of a new Marvel-themed land in California Adventure. So this is kind of like it's the this is a phase one. And we were talking about it on an earlier show. Could this be a phase one for Pandora? Well, this definitely is a phase one for the Marvel area of Disney California Adventure. They have come right out and said that. So I guess it doesn't bother me from another perspective in that we don't need the same ride in two parks. We don't need the same exact same copy of each land in both parks. I'm of that mindset. I mean, it's okay to me that Walt Disney World does not have a Cars Land. It is okay for me that Disneyland does not have a Pandora. Because if every attraction, every land, every queue is a copy of what's on the other side, there's no incentive to go. So that doesn't bother me. Now, I will say that from the videos that I have seen and from everything that I've read, they do a good job of refurbishing the building, particularly in the interior, where the old lobby of the Hollywood Tower Hotel is replaced with all the display cases and plaques and tchotchkes and whatever. So I do also like that they kind of kept the queue from the boiler room by and large the same, but with some window dressing. Because nowhere is kind of like a gigantic boiler room.
Right.
In many respects. So to me, I had a very hard time reconciling when we first got wind this was happening. Because I couldn't tell you any part of the movie in the first Guardians movie that would lend itself to an elevator drop ride.
Right.
See, and I've always been all for it. I was just like, their Tower of Terror, honestly, in comparison, it sucks. And so I was
trying
glad to
not to say that.
Well, there you go. Leave it to Kristen to go ahead and give her your
That's my job. I am supposed to be the one that just puts it out there like it is. So I was glad to see it, that they were going to change it. And I'm really looking forward to experiencing it. I mean, I like the movies. It's nice to have something different. Otherwise there's no reason for anybody to visit another park if they're all the same. And why go to Disneyland when I live closer to Disney World if all the attractions are the same? And there's no reason for me to go out that way and spend my money. But with different attractions, then of course it gives me a reason to go. And that's why I really like DCA so much, because for the most part, it's completely different than anything at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, I think they did a great job on this attraction. It looks great. The queue's great. The rocket animatronic is great. Once again, just another great thing that Disney Imagineers work with their technological partners to have such a smooth, responsive acting animatronic that really puts you in the place of, there's Stan.
Yes. The Stan Lee cameo.
The Stan Lee cameo. And it's just so well done. And if we have time, I'm also going to put the opening ceremony video on this video as well, courtesy of Disney Parks. But this is really cool. I mean, the fact that you have the actors from the film in this attraction really adds to the fact that you're in this universe. It's so well themed. The animatronics, the theming, like I said, the music, which is an integral part of the Guardians of the Galaxy story, is top notch. So all of that I think is going to be great, and I look forward to experiencing it for myself when we're able to go to Disneyland, hopefully within the next year or so. And it's just really great, and I've seen so many people, on the internet. Blasting it. They haven't experienced it, and I can honestly tell you that I'm excited about this, and the fact that it is the opening salvo to a whole new Marvel land. And look at that, Flora Colossus doesn't even have I Am Groot, as opposed to Rodent, which is what Rocket is. So if you're watching this, we are playing some of the Pet Rodent. We're watching some of the pre-show, which is great. But this is great. They really did it well, and they did what we would hope, which was, they brought the Stan Lee cameo. They worked with Kevin Feige. They worked with Joe Quesada at Marvel. They worked with James Gunn, the director and the writer of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and 2. And all of the great Benicio del Toro as the Collector, once again, just wonderful stuff. And all the actors really, Michael Rooker, they really appreciate being part of this franchise and part of history, as it were, with Marvel coming finally to the Disney parks in this fashion. So I'm excited about it, and it looks like there's going to be many more. My question to you all is, what other attractions would you like to see Avengers based or Marvel Studios based coming up to Disneyland? What would you like to see?
I want to see Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, I mean, they might even be coming to Walt Disney World in that case, especially with rumors circulating about Epcot.
There's always rumors circulating of Epcot. I'm sorry. At this point in the game, I'm like, I have to see permits. I have to see something in writing that's got official Disney stationery on it. At this point, I'm rumored out. You could tell me that they're going to completely bulldoze Future World and turn it into Stark Tower. I'm like, no, ain't gonna believe you.
You're like me. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yes.
I'll believe it when I see it. Well, we do know that the rest of Marvel stuff is coming, and that was actually made public during the opening of this very attraction. This is one of the very first, Marvel attraction coming to the Disneyland Resort. And Kristen, you're obviously also a big Marvel Cinematic Universe fan. You love the Marvel
Yes,
movies.
I do.
What kind of attraction would you like to see come to Disneyland? Or California Adventure, as it were?
Well, unfortunately, they don't have the space, but I would really think it'd be awesome to see a roller coaster that was themed around the Avengers, like going through like some, where they have to fight like crazy villains and stuff. Just something awesome.
Kind of like Spider-Man over at
No,
Universal?
I want it to be more roller coaster like. That's not a roller coaster.
Okay. So you definitely want more of the Hulk action.
I want more thrill ride with it.
Yeah, that would definitely. I feel like that has Iron Man's name all over it. If you're shooting across your rocket jet, your boot jets, and all that cool stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think Eric, you may have mentioned this on Swercom Review, or maybe it was Dan over there at E-Ticket Time on Sorcerer Radio talked about your favorite or what type of Marvel attractions you like to see.
He may have, but I think we also talked about it on Mighty Marvel Geeks.
Yeah, and I may have made a post on that. Something about.
No, we did. We asked the audience, we asked the listeners and everybody on social media, what kind of Disney Marvel mashups would you like to see, or was it, or Marvel? No, it was Marvel Star Wars. That's what it was.
Oh, Marvel Star Wars mashups. Okay, very good, very good. Well, I'd like to hear what our audience has to say about this, and maybe you've ridden Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout and you want to report on that. Feel free to send us an email or leave us a comment on this video or podcast on iTunes, what have you, and we'd love to hear about it. wdwafterdark@gmail.com. And I am looking forward to that.